Greetings,
What's
Star.
up?
Welcome to Mad Science Films. I'm James Plumb, filmmaker and sexual astronaut, and as ever, I'm joined by my skeptical co-host,
James Morrissey, filmmaker, South Wales. What's up? AKA the man with no nickname.
All right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Should I wear sunglasses whilst I'm saying it just to look cool enough to say it?
Yeah, I mean, this
like
is just
someone
to
I know.
hide the bags under my eyes. So,
Yeah.
but sure, yeah, it hides multitudes.
I mean, you're there rocking cool shades with like 70s disco lights behind you, calling yourself a sexual astronaut. Can I just have the man with no nickname?
No, man, it's too many characters. I don't know whether it's going to fit in the little lower third that we put on. We'll see.
All right, I got
See how
you.
it goes.
Maybe we could abbreviate it, yeah.
Right then, first up, if you are in the UK, and let's hope you are, because you should be a Prime Video member. And in addition to that, you should check out our fourth feature film for free. Just search for Little Monster or click on the link in the notes below. On this show, we're campaigning for a masterpiece of genre cinema to be given the Blu Ray treatment. And this week was my choice. And sorry, guys, but I went for 80s cheese fest Demon Warp, directed by Emmett Alston from 1988. Okay, so Jim, I'm going to drop a synopsis. Hold on tight. A man and his daughter are attacked. I'll start out again. A man and his daughter are attacked in the woods by what they believe is a Bigfoot-type creature. However, they soon begin to suspect that they may have stumbled onto a nest of aliens in a hidden spacecraft. So spoilers, and also that's not accurate.
Yeah, they should have just kept it a bit more. I think just the first part would have sufficed.
Yeah, perhaps I'll bleep out some stuff there. And
yeah.
I mean, it's Demon Warp. I don't think.
You might. You should. You should have seen it by now.
So yeah.
Okay.
So Jim, is Demon Warp a first-time view for you?
Yes, it was. I enjoyed it. It's flawed, right? Some of the acting is a bit over the top, a bit undercooked, perhaps. Maybe the script needed a bit more work before they went into production. Just, some loose ends and some just big leaps within plots and stuff like that. But I did it. It doesn't let you down in regards to entertainment, and I think that is a big plus for this film. It is batshit. It gets into it. Like, you got George Kennedy gonna sew up a button on his shirt. He's there with his daughter in a cabin, and boom, fucking, giant. Well, I say giant. Actually, wasn't that tall, but a Bigfoot comes in, takes his daughter away. It doesn't. It gets into it.
Within the first 5 minutes, we have the Bigfoot attack. So yeah.
Yeah, and you just don't know. What's going to happen next with it. It's definitely not predictable, I'd say. I kind of like the.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. I think it doesn't. I mean, this was also a first time watch. This was served up to me by the YouTube algorithms. So thank you, AI overlords. Appreciate that. But yeah, so like Jim said, it gets stuck in straight away. Clearly this was George Kennedy. They only had him for a few days or whatever, so he's kind of plucked through the film, much like John Saxon or other movie stars would just be featured in the film for a few days and their name would be above the poster. Great poster, by the way, as well. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah,
absolutely great. It was one of those ones I started watching and I hadn't read the synopsis. So again, I was believing, and this is spoilers, but it's Demon Warp. It's like 4 years old. So, just live with it. No, 30 something years old, but still. So I just thought this was a Bigfoot movie. And I kind of like Bigfoot movies. I'm not a massive, devotee of the subgenre, but still. But you know what, Jim? Do you know what's really starting to disturb me? We've been doing this show for enough weeks now that you just notice these patterns. And I was getting serious deja vu to one of your earlier choices, Evil Laugh, with the group of kids going away to somewhere for the weekend, and one of them has a secret, which they haven't told the others until they get there and they reveal it, and they're in danger. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh man, I'm getting some serious deja vu now. It's like, dude, I'm slightly worried about us. I think we might be watching too much shit.
Yeah, I think we may need to start getting regular counselling. I think, to be honest,
Yeah.
I wish they would have done more of a kind of investigation to it, and then I kind of like that because it starts off with that, doesn't it? It almost starts off like a Friday the 13th kind of film. You know, kids go to the cabin.
Before all of that, mate, before all of that, and again, I only really kind of picked it up on the second viewing. There's like and I don't know when this was shot. This is released in '88, right? But it feels older. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the opening where a spaceship crashes to Earth from the space thing, which again is like the opening of Predator, which is later one of my recommendations. And you're kind of like, what is going on? And then the next scene, there's like a preacher dragging a horse or a mule along or whatever, and it's suggested from his outfit that it's olden times. And again, I'm like, I thought this was a Bigfoot movie based on the poster. And then, yeah, as you say, we kind of jump into Friday the 13th type territory. So there's all this stuff going on, which on the first viewing, like I completely forgot about the opening once you get stuck into the main part of the story. But yeah, it's like planting all these little seeds, which do pay off later in what has got to be the craziest 20 minutes ending of a film ever, where they just throw all this stuff at you. And I was completely I've got to admit, for probably the middle half hour, I was starting to flag, and I was just like, "Oh man, you know, like
you got a bit long-winded in the woods."
That we pick another one, because that middle sequence, and I think exactly like you said, mate, with the it could have done with more investigation rather than just a group of guys in the woods with a shotgun. You know, and it didn't, that bit really didn't hold up. And there was a confusing bit where, despite the fact that they saw one of their friends killed by a Bigfoot, they were completely paranoid of George Kennedy, and you know, they were holding George Kennedy at gunpoint later on. I'm like, guys,
but you've seen,
it's a Bigfoot. Yeah. Why are you holding this old guy at gunpoint?
Yeah, that kind of didn't make sense. There's also a part in where Jack could have shot the Bigfoot with a gun, but just chose to just watch him whilst the Bigfoot stole a toaster, which I'm now guessing it was the toaster was used to help fix spoilers the spacecraft. Because toasters fix UFOs, I guess.
So it was some sort of weird equipment. Don't you remember? So like earlier on, and again, it's the problem is they don't really explain it. So the bunch of guys are getting stuff from the back of the truck, and there's like technical equipment, but then that's not really touched upon later on. So but I'm not sure what it was.
I mean, if you go by the poster is epic. The poster, the artwork, the cover is tremendous. Like, you know, if the film lived up to that image, like this would be movie history. This would be like, you know, one of the most amazing horror sci-fis ever made. You know what I mean? And they had potential. They perhaps didn't have the budget. I think that's probably
I think so, and that's why they've got that filler in the half hour. I think you could do a cut where you just have like the opening 30 minutes and like the last 20 minutes. Obviously, it'll only be a 50-minute film, but just jam those two together because you're not really missing anything from that middle. You know, it is them just walking around in the woods. Jam those two together, and as you say, mate, you've got like the craziest B movie that ever existed. I mean, should we talk about the ending? Should we go into the ending a bit? So, in the ending, in the last 20 minutes, and again, spoilers, but you know, it's an ancient film. There are zombies walking around caves in a very Day of the Dead-esque lighting scheme and all that. So I was like, yes, okay. No longer this just a Bigfoot. Bigfoot is revealed to be the lead actor's uncle. So it's like a transformation kind of thing. We've got aliens, which have like weird penis things and metal claws, which again isn't really explained except for, I guess, in the crash that we saw at the beginning, he was damaged. So he has like a metal claw now. Awesome. Okay, fine. I would have liked, you know, maybe a minute more to focus on that, but all right. We've got like the dead comedy relief coming back to life and being even less funny than he was before, just shouting random things in a funny way, like, these guys are my friends now. And it's like, yeah, okay, all right. Just because you say it like that doesn't make it funny. You've got crazy priest preacher guys also who are like obviously 100 years old now or something, but look pretty good, to be fair. And there's a bit, right, where the guy, the main lead guy, is killing the crazy priest, and I swear to God, from the angle of the characters and the camera, it looks like he's shoving the sacrificial knife up the priest's ass.
The ending really was not a fan. But you could tell something was up just the way the set look. So basically, right at the end, they're in bed, but you just know it's like
There's no background
stage or so. There's no back. It's just all black. So you knew something was going to happen. So, and they tried to do the dream or the nightmare within a nightmare within a nightmare kind of ended.
3 fake outs, and I'm sorry, that's
yeah,
cheap. When you do 3 fake outs, no.
It was that was like, yeah, you just made that up on the day and thought, fuck it, we got a bit of time to spare. I do give credit because he was very entertaining. Well, there was a brief part in the middle, but it was a bit it almost reminds you of like The Walking Dead, like the way they went in the woods and just everything in the woods was shit, and just because there was nothing in the fucking woods.
It's the middle of season 2 of Walking Dead.
Yeah, and it just felt like there's no money, there's no budget, and I really didn't think it was a good idea to shoot that Bigfoot costume in the day because you just looked a lot worse.
It was a bold choice.
You could just tell it was just not a good costume. But
and they introduced some characters in the middle who were clearly just fodder. You know, like there was the people who got lost and then sunbathed topless.
Yeah,
you're dead. And then there was the very camp photographer guy.
Again,
this is like, honestly,
just why not?
Just you could lift that stuff out because it's got nothing to do with the plot apart from people getting killed and more boobs.
Like you said, they're just flashing it out, and they just
literally
added more minutes to the runtime. Yeah, literally a lot of boobs in this film as well. So if you're a fan of the old titties, then you give this a thumbs up. It'll be more than a fucking thumbs up. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good fun. Fun.
It wasn't one of our best, but it definitely wasn't one of our worst. So I mean, I think you could have good fun with it. So, Jim, what do you reckon? Which Blu-ray label is the best to put this bad boy out for us?
I've got for Shout Factory. They got a lot of cool horrors on this, some nice creature ones. One of them I've put forward as one of my suggestions to watch after this film. So Shout Factory, and I've also gone for 88 Films as well. I thought they might do I think they'll do well with the artwork as well. I love the artwork. I want to get this poster. It's really cool. 88, perhaps Arrow as well. The two usuals. It is quite a unique, not totally unique, but it's a little different, and I think they could easily accommodate a film like this. So
yeah. I agree. I've got two of the same that you said. Shout Factory again for the same kind of reasons, same kind of vibe stuff they've put out in the past. Also Arrow, and I think with Arrow I'd love to get like a really good special features package on there. The director Emmett Alston, he put out like a lot of like exploitation genre stuff early on. So in addition to Demon Warp, some of the other stuff he put out was a sex comedy called Three-Way Weekend in like prime post Porky's era. New Year's Evil, which again is one I've caught as well. 9 Deaths of the Ninja, another ninja movie as well. Force of the Ninja, 3 Little Ninjas and the Lost Treasure, which isn't 3 ninjas, but is a ripoff of 3 ninjas, and Tiger Shark as well. So again, you know, I would love if I don't know if he's still alive, but if again we could have a look at his work as a body of work. You know, clearly he's a genre guy who's just willing to get stuck into any exploitation genre he fancies doing. And it also, this was written, and I think a lot of the makeups was done by John Carl Buechler, who directed Friday the 13th Part 7. And apparently, originally he was lined up to direct this, but went on, when he got the offer to do Friday the 13th Part 7, jumped ship and went to do that. Understandable. Unfortunately, I know John has passed away, but again, it would be great if there was any archive material about him talking about as well. So again, Arrow, we're begging you, man, put a bit of effort into this. And
come on,
Arrow. Let's have a package of it. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Happy days.
So Jim, people have sat down, they've watched Evil Laugh. Let's assume they're not absolutely exhausted by the ending there. What film would you suggest would be the follow-up?
Well, if you kind of like Man, their child gets killed. Yeah, like some. So basically, like the idea of some guy losing their kid, and then is on a war, vengeance, vendetta, and there's creatures in the woods and stuff. Then, if you kind of like that, then you may want to watch Pumpkinhead. I think that's Mr. Lance Henriksen doing it good. He's a great actor, isn't he, Lance Henriksen? Also, if you want some more George Kennedy, perhaps check Alien-esque horror, Terror Within. Some more sci-fi horror with George Kennedy. And I've gone, so this film set in the woods. So if you kind of like that setting and you like your films to go on crazy, off the fucking wall kind of direction in terms of the story, then maybe check The Cabin in the Woods, because that kind of does something similar, doesn't it? It kind of starts as one thing and then progresses to another. So if you like that mentalness, cool, check that out. Yeah.
Awesome. So my two recommendations are, as I said earlier, Predator, because again, similar to what you're saying with Cabin in the Woods, it starts as one kind of thing and then moves firmly into another. And again, the opening shot, I don't know which one came first, but it's spookily similar. And the other one, again, I mentioned before, in terms of like deja vu, was Evil Laugh, and the, group of kids going out into the middle of nowhere, and there's a secret that gets revealed. And again, that would really test my friendship with those people. So those are the two recommendations I would go with. So cool. All right, you guys. Have you guys seen Demon Warp? What did you think? Was the beginning and the ending enough to carry you through that film and dig it? What films do you think would make a great B-side to the A-side that is Demon Warp? And Jim, what else can they do for us?
So if you like this video, then please smash that like button. If you've been enjoying the Mad Science content, then why not subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook. If you have any comments or suggestions, then leave those in the comment section down below. Thank you and goodbye. Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.